And I think if we spent as much time, for example, when you look at the 20 years out, there's three things that are going to make us successful. People that are passionate, people not only in this room, but across the children of the world that are passionate about conservation in national parks. Secondly, that we've achieved real conservation outcomes, so the work that we do between now and then actually makes a difference. And thirdly, that we've worked in partnership with the other sectors where we have major issues, we work them out through dialogue. And I think that's the approach that I would suggest we may want to consider, is really look at the three as the foundational pieces and then spend as much time on the, I'm going to put it that, inspiring the young generation for the future. And if that is of interest, Parks Canada is more than ready to lead that aspect and actually commit significant resources to help achieve that. Thank you.
That's the kind of statements we want. Are there anybody else who would like to either question something or make a similar statement?
My name's Philip Reardon from the University of Oxford in the UK. I work currently in China, and I would ask the panel please to consider engaging China fully in this process. I know a lot of people say, yes, well, China are included in the process, we have the presidency with the Chinese candidates and all the rest of it. I've been around this meeting now for the last few days, and I've been in meeting after meeting, which have been concerned with Chinese issues, not just within China, of course, but of other parts of the world, Africa and elsewhere. And the level of Chinese representation that has been enabled within this meeting, I'm afraid, has been low. So please involve China and make sure it's done properly with the correct people. Thank you.
Good point. Thanks. Any other? Yes? Can you go?
Keisuke Takashi from Ministry of Japan. And Mr. Cochran mentioned that there are a lot of related meetings or events before and just after the World Park Congress. So I would like to see the whole partnership. World Park Congress is not just an event for 10 years, but make the partnership among the park managers or related people utilizing those events and events. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we have one more here.
Prashant Jadhav from India. I have attended other workshops also. I found out that there are some countries which doesn't have even legislation for wildlife protection, like Peru. So we can also insist in this national conference, in this international conference, about having legislation for national parks. I feel that livelihood is also an important part of the offset of this national parks. So livelihood also can be added because ecotourism and other things are being a big source of international income. So well-being, in addition to the well-being, it can be added to the livelihood of the people.
Thank you. I think it was meant both with the well-being but also the food and water situation. It's a very good point. Right. Anybody else? Okay. Yeah, one more from Canada.
I've been giving some thought to this, what Stephen said earlier in terms of getting the type of interest that we would see in the World Cup and so on. And some of the comments that Peter made in terms of, hey, what's the legacy? And some of the other comments in terms of political will. I guess if we were as bold as trying to get every 10-year-old child in the world to have a declaration of love of nature that day, that would soften a lot of politicians.
Thanks very much. Then I'll just hear, is there anybody from the panel who desperately want to say something? Yes, Peter?
If I could just make a couple of extra comments too. We've also had some very exciting conversations with Google, who are doing some great work with oceans, and they're also looking to use the World Parks Congress as an opportunity to take that to another step. I think the use of social media, we're very committed to a paperless Congress as well, which does tie us into learning the lessons from here as to what's worked and how we need to work harder to make a web-based solution work. That also how enables us to do a little bit like what Stephen was doing, but through the internet, is perhaps Trevor and I have been talking about virtual cafes rather than actually necessarily having to be in the same room. Why not set up virtual cafes so that people can talk? Not virtual coffee, yes, with better coffee. So there's some real opportunities for us in the next couple of years to find some partners who are interested in making this work. I think that's very exciting. But can I leave you with one thought? I've just outlined the structure that we see in most of what you talked about fitting. What we haven't talked at all about, really, until Alan raised it, is the how we're going to make this work. Australia and New Zealand aren't going to fill that framework. It's actually you, our partners, and those people that we identify from different sectors who are going to make it work. And so we need not just those pathways of the other parks congresses to develop ideas and bring them to us, because that is important, but we also need champions who are going to take some of these themes and actually come with ideas, solutions, challenges to share with us or to workshop. So we are looking for leaders. That's just the framework. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, thank you.
No, I think that was a very important point to be raised here, and the process from here is that we want leaders who would like to take one of these themes and then run with it for 2 years, involve as many as you can. Of course, it will be based a lot on the WCPA, but it doesn't have to be confined to that. It doesn't have to be confined to Australia. It would have to be wherever we have some people who are really keen and interested in taking one of these streams and running with it. We then in IUCN and jointly with our partners in Australia set up a structure around that, an international steering committee. And quite concretely, we have our next meeting in the International Steering Committee on the 13th this month. And we would really love to get your ideas and your commitments to take part in this on an email before that. Trevor knows the email, so I'll give him the word before I make the conclusion in 1 second. So.
No, not your email, but tell us where they can send it.
On the website.
There is the website, the IUCN website, the WCPA website, and also this event has a web space where you can add comments, you can add documents, you can place information. So that would be the route. Go and look for this event in the Congress website and add your comment.
And if all that fails, use Trevor's email at IUCN. Thank you very much. This has been a very good start. Thank you very much to everybody in the panel. I think it was really, really useful. I think we got a large degree of confirmation of that approach. From IUCN's part, we're very happy that it means that it fits relatively well, or very well, with the kind of program that we hope the members here will adopt in a couple of days. And from there, it can build out and take on a life of its own. But it's really nice that there is a foundation in what we are all doing. So we look forward to working with you. I can't help adding on a personal note that Eric had to go. If you enjoyed the way he spoke here, then there's a chance that the World Leaders Dialogue at 5 o'clock, because then he will be part of that. A bit more of entertainment from a very good politician. But thanks to you all for coming in. Thank you.